and tidy edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop, you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you all? I was just picking out my label for the project today. I really need to keep using these so that I use them all. I keep using mine. Let's see. I picked one for the Winslows. I'm going to pick the Finish Just in Time since that seems kind of appropriate. But for this one, not sure yet. I'm always worried these little metallic ones will be kind of scratchy. So oh wait, isn't there a party dress one? Wait, there's a party dress one, isn't there? Yeah. I mean, it's not a dress, but what do you think? I mean, it's a wedding, you know? I'm making this for a party. When else am I going to use this? Let's do it. Hey Barbara, hey Mullen, hey Raquel and Jan, hi Danny, hello Elena, hi Adrian, Sydney. Oh, I love the screen too. That's why I just bought it. Like, I actually was one of those rare moments where they said they were gonna have, like, they posted a sneak and then it was gonna go on sale, and I watched for the newsletter. So yeah. Yeah, there we go. I got it. Okay, party dress one. Hi, Kira. Hello, Renee. Yeah, it's a really old little box that came with this, like, probably skincare. Oh yeah, My Shell Dermaceuticals. My husband used to work at a company where he got to go to, well, the last couple of companies he worked for, he got to go to the grocery shows. No, was it grocery? No, it was the hub. I call it HABA, Health and Beauty. He got to go to those. And so sometimes he would bring these things back for me and my daughter. So anyway, yeah, I just put him on a safety pin. There were so many in this advent calendar. Right now they're a little higgledy-piggledy. I bought these recently. I have a few strays in there that should go back on their thing. But yeah, that works. And then I'm going to put mine underneath. We'll do something like that. I had an idea for another label series, and I really want to do it, but I'm not the person people come to buy labels from. And mine have sold pretty good, but I'm like, should I really buy more labels? But I think this idea would be so fun. I have two ideas I think people would really like. But, you know, it's like you have to buy at least 300 to make them affordable for people. It's not a cheap thing. Why am I pinning this to this? So anyway, nobody's going to look. Hey, Mary. Hi, Diane. Hi, Libby. Yeah, well, we're just getting started, aren't we? I have a cuter mouse than I had before, but it's still not that cute, is it? I got a new camera. It's not hooked up. I got so excited because you know how this one sometimes freezes? I actually think it's the cord it's plugged into, but I'm not sure. And so I decided a while ago if I had to buy a new camera, I was going to buy this new camera by Elgato called the Facecam Pro, but I wasn't going to put it on my face. Even though I would really like to look better on camera, I was going to be better quality for the overhead view. And I got it. I started setting it up. And it requires a USB-C connection to my computer, which my computer does not have. I have two USB port hubs extras. They don't have USB-C. So we're gonna have to wait, and I'm so disappointed because I was so excited to hopefully see like a really, I mean, it may not be very visible to you guys, but it'll be visible to me. I think the depth is gonna be really good and the detail. So we'll see. But I just need to see now how to make that happen. I'm really hoping that there's an adapter that doesn't have video loss. So anyway, things I just sound like I know a lot about and I don't. So hi, Carolyn. All right, so we're making a 30s, well, I'm making a 30s inspired outfit for a wedding I'm going to this month. And so let me show you, my lisp is like a high peak at the very beginning of streams. I do not lisp. It's only when I'm excited or nervous, you know? Let's see, it's this one. So I'm making beach pajamas, which is a very 1930s thing. Libby actually was very instrumental in kind of nudging me this direction. But I actually love the idea of separates so that they're very wearable afterward. So what you're looking at is I used this little tiny picture of the fabric to fill in the fabric for my drawing. I would have taken a nicer picture had I known I was going to do that. And I'm going to be using, I drafted a pattern merging two patterns. The Myrna dress on the left, the bodice, I loved the peak at the center V-neck. And then this butterfly blouse sleeve. So those two, I've merged those, and we're going to sew this today and Saturday. And then for the bottoms, I'm going to be making the Winslow culottes. So that is the plan. Tech can be frustrating. I hope you're doing good, Kira. It's nice to see you. I know, it's a really fun group. I'm not one of those YouTubers that really looks at my like statistics and stuff, but sometimes I just notice it because it's just like there in front of me, right? Or sometimes I'll look back and go, were people really into that project I did? And I can kind of look at the views of the videos. And I'm always astounded at, like, my videos really don't get that big of views. They don't get very many likes. My live streams hardly get any comments under them. But we all know how great it feels here. You know what I mean? Like, it feels really close-knit and it feels larger than it is, and I love that. So I'm so glad, Kira. Yeah, I think it was you that was telling us you were dealing with something. I hope that you're on the mend. I can't remember what it was. I think I know, but I just don't want to say it. So, all right. I've got my pieces stacked here. So this is the front, I think, and this is the back. And we're going to start with the little like midriff area first. And we're basically going, I think I'm basically going to work on assembling the front and back today. This garment doesn't take that long to sew. It has a lot of pieces though. So, all right, so this is my front, and we're going to try and keep our right side and wrong side straight because, and that actually is the wrong side showing. See, it's darker. It gets better. You gotta love that, right? This is the front. This is the middle. I've had to sew 3 prototypes so far. So this is when I feel like I will make more mistakes because I've sewn it a couple times now. If you know, you know. All right, and then we have our lower portion. I'm gonna put my upper front there. And then I'm lining just these 2 little pieces here. I'm kind of torn about top stitching. I'm not sure if if I'm going to do top stitching or not. So we'll see. Hey, Julie. Hey, Bonnie. Oh, that's totally fine. Yeah, I'm not saying anything. Like replays are great. A lot of live streamers don't make their lives available for replay, but I think that that's key with what we do here. So I have 1/2 inch. I have a lot of seam allowances going on here, so let's just hope I can remember them all. This is only 1/2 inch though here. And I'm not sure like really how helpful my project will be for any of you, since I kind of merged these two garments. If you are here because you thought I was making the butterfly blouse and you would like a tutorial on that, I have made that before. And that was that little video I showed you. That's the garment. It turned out amazing. Really why I wanted another one of these, because I don't own that one. So, and if you're looking for it, just go to my website and just put butterfly in the search thing and it'll pop right up. All the video links will pop right up. Trying not to stretch this. The crinkle cotton is stretchy. Not quite meeting there. It's already coming together. I could probably sew this all today. I could sew this all today and we could do something on Saturday. There's always that. I've been working on lots of little projects. I have the Tegan top by Style Arc cut out and ready to sew. I made the Dulce, are those called the boxers? The Dulce boxers by Muna and Broad. I think I made those yesterday. I had an interesting time with that pattern. And they came out great. Like the first pair was trash. Like I did not pick the right fabric for it. It didn't stretch enough. And I also, the gusset didn't line up with the inseam. So I basically just lost that half yard of fabric that I only paid $1.50 for, so that was fine. The Dulce briefs, thank you, Malin. Dulce briefs. I do like them. I actually like them a lot. I made them so that I could have underwear-like shorts for wearing under dresses and things. The pattern instruction, well, okay, I'll be really honest. I love the pattern. I love the fit of these things. I love them better than any short I have made since live streaming. My only thing was that I have made a pattern like that before with the gusset, and I still mistook the rise for the inseam, because the gusset, when you take away the fabric for a gusset, it makes it look like the rise, and that's the inseam. So the straighter seam is actually a rise, because you basically, when you take away fabric on a pattern to create a gusset, you're cutting the hook off of the rise, and so it straightens out your center front and center back seam. And I just was trying to breeze through it. I was just trying to sew it up really quick, and I didn't read the instructions because I didn't really need the instructions, and I was just being, you know, really negligent. And so I shortened the shorts, the legs, because I only had a half yard for a trial fabric. It was those $1.50 half yard pieces. And so I realized that was because I shortened them, I had shortened the rise, and so I had made them really short. So I do feel like the instructions could have pointed this out better and said waist, inseam. I guarantee a significant percentage of people have made this mistake on this pattern, but I ended up cutting out of some bamboo, or not bamboo. It was like a slinky knit, like a tencel knit or viscose knit or something like that, like one of the slinkier ones, and they came out amazing. I really loved it. So yeah, I wrote waist and hem. And then I will also say my gusset did not line up, and that wasn't me, that was the pattern. So what I did was, like, let's say that this is the hem of the pant. The hem went like this at an angle, and it wasn't perpendicular to the grain line. So what I did was made the hem perpendicular to the grain line, because that mount that was missing there was exactly what I needed to line up with my gusset. So I kind of struggled at first. I was like, why doesn't this go together? I know people love this pattern. I know it goes together really well. So, oh, the Kapunda undies, Sydney. Have you made those? Yeah, I don't know. I've made the bottom size A, Mullen. I promise I didn't do anything to it. Like, you could see my dotted line and everything. So I don't know why they didn't line up. So, but I figured it out. I just added, like, it was like, I think it was like 5/8 of an inch I added on that one inseam leg, and it was fine. So, and like I said, I made another pair and it was great. I also came up with a cool way to put on my elastic on my waistband with using the cover stitch by just using a little chalk. So anyway, let me get back to this. All right, so one of my problems with this fabric is I can't really iron it. It takes the crinkle out. So I'm kind of trying to decide, like, what I could do. You want Sydney's review? Yeah, let's let Sydney review them. All right, so I'm just gonna lightly do a pressing here. I'm hovering my iron too. I'm just gonna steam it. Let's see how that looks. That looks better. Yeah, that looks a little better, right? And then, oh, I gotta put my lining on. Since I'm kind of winging this using my own set of instructions, in my head, I had me finishing the lining a little differently. Did I make it so that I can't do that now, I wonder? I never use a press cloth. I'm always naughty that way. Oh, okay. Just stretched it enough. Yeah. Yeah, what I found interesting for the Dulce was that my elastic was it longer than the fabric? It might have been, because there's negative ease in the short. So it looks a little wavy, but when I wear it, it feels really great. So that's just one of those things. Sometimes things don't look cool when you're finished, but they fit really good because of that. All right. So as far as this little lining piece goes, do I want to clean finish the inside? In my head, I was going to clean finish it like I do a waistband, top stitch it down on the outside, but I don't know. I could just, let's see. Sorry, let me think about this. What do I want? What do I want? The bodice is going to gather into this, so the bodice is going to be gathered. I have a center front seam as well. So I also need to decide if I'm going to do like a French seam or, see, I'm tempted to top stitch the heck out of it, only because I feel like that'll give it a little bit more structure too. Yeah, right, Mullen, exactly. Hi, Martina, how's it going? Did I say hi to you, Hannah? I think I said hi, Michelle. So let's see. So, what do I want? I don't really know what I want. I'm sort of thinking about enclosing the seam. I'm closing the seam over the gathered top. Let's just put this on right now. Since we already sewed the seam, I should have done it all at once. And I'm doing it with the back side facing out. I don't like the shiny side, and it's just some fabric I had laying around. That could be from the 30s. Yeah, that's how my Myrna, I top stitched a lot of that. Do I still have that? Oh, I brought it home yesterday, of course. I was like, eh. I'm super excited to use my invisible zipper foot. Okay, so now, look at how much it makes that cream just pop. Well, you can't really tell, actually, because my table is light colored. Oh my gosh, I'm getting confused. Here we go. Team top stitch, yeah. I feel like that lends a sort of casualness to it that, you know, in some ways I'm like, do I want a casual finish on it? But on the other hand, you know, I want to wear this afterward and I want it to be the way I want it. So. All right, let's just press this really quick and continue to think about this. Hi, Lisa, how's it going? I'm not sure what this fabric is. It's a little dicey. All right. I'm really conflicted. Can you tell? I'm hovering and steaming and using the press cloth because I can't press this crinkle cotton. It'll be not crinkly anymore. So, but just so you know, this is washed, so it does stay crinkly in the laundry. Like it'll probably come back. But if I press this and didn't like wash it again to get the crinkle back for the event, it would be a lot bigger. You know what I mean? So you gotta, I would just treat it with a little respect. All right, let's attach the front. Sometimes I just have to do things and that's how I'm thinking through. So this is my center front neckline. The shoulder will gather up and so does this down here. This thread is so lightweight, it keeps coming unthreaded. And I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to use a more old school technique to finish the seam inside. For the gathering stitching. My issue is that I think I only gave myself a ½ inch for all these like little midriff pieces. I'm definitely gonna have to have some like undergarments that don't show through, huh? Maybe I could make like a slip or something. Or like a woven camisole, but it has the cups. Hi, Terry, how's it going? All right, sounds good. Mullen's here too. All right. That's probably too much gathers. So what I can do is, if I'm going to do top stitching, is I can just sew this to the lining and then edge stitch it in. That's probably the best thing to do since I only have a 1/2 inch. So we're going to put this wrong sides together. I didn't put my stitch back, did I? I was definitely not a presser until I started live streaming. Live streaming has made me such a much better sewer. Ooh, that sounds really good. Oh, considering cake? Cake is on the menu. What kind of cake are we talking? And why cake? Is it someone's birthday? Was it your birthday? When's your birthday? I feel like that seems kind of familiar. That one of you has a birthday near mine, don't you? Okay, let's see here. These gathers down here a little bit. This is where my bust is. This is where I want my bust to be. All right. It's you! That's right, birthday club. And you, Mullen. Yeah, I knew one of you was in May. You think about making a coconut cake. Oh, Mother's Day. Oh, I want cake. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Coconut cake. I have this coconut lemon layer cake recipe that is so good. Ooh, June 1st. Just missed the club. That's okay. Everybody's in the club. All right, so now we have this on here, and we can turn this under and top stitch it down, and we'll get a nice clean finish on both sides. So let's do this one. We'll press them, and then we'll stitch it down. And then maybe we'll add a little bit more top stitching here as well. All right. Oops. Let me confuse myself here. June 6th. Wow. Diane, your birthday is February 22nd? Really? That's my mom's birthday. That's one of our birthday gauntlets because it's my mom's birthday on the 22nd. She was in labor on her birthday and had my sister. And my sister's birthday is the 23rd. My sister was in labor on her birthday and had her daughter on her birthday. So there's 3 birthdays in my family right there. I'm the only one way out here in May. And all the guys are in August, or like July 31st through August 25th, so. Yeah, absolutely, Jan. Or you got to freeze the cake. My mom is really cool, Diane. Just like you. Coconut cream. Oh my God, that sounds so good. I am really thankful I'm not one of the people in the world that like coconut tastes like soap too. I will say though, I did have this weird experience with coconut, like at the end of last year, where, so I make my granola. I always make my granola. I am, not to get weird, but I really like trying making things from unrefined ingredients, right? And one of my favorite breakfasts is having granola with plain yogurt and like fruit. And I usually just chop up an apple unless it's summertime and there's something better, right? Or something different. So my granola recipe, super easy. I use oats and then I use whatever I want, almonds, you know, it used to be elaborate. Now really it's just almonds and oats, and that's it. That's the only added thing like that's hard. But I used to do coconut as well. And my husband and I have had so much trouble finding unsweetened flaked coconut living here that one day he came home with coconut, and it was frozen fresh coconut. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And it looked like you could just use it like you use other coconut. So I did, and it wasn't quite right. It just wasn't quite right. What's this little wiggly line here? Let me just smooth out this sewing here. This is why you pin. So ever since that coconut, it tastes slightly soapy to me. And so that really kind of makes me mad, you know? There we go. Wait. This is the wrong side. This is the point. Oh no, and I just double sewed that. Oh my God. We go by frozen fresh, or by, oh yeah. So I just always just get the unsweetened dried stuff. This feels so fragile. Ooh, we're gonna be seam ripping a little bit here, because Saremy just sewed the top on upside down. God dang it. Yeah, right, Michelle, exactly. You know what I do, Michelle, with I usually get some of their birthday gifts while I'm shopping for holiday gifts. Pie or cake, what's better? Those are kind of fighting words. I don't know. I feel like you're trying to divide us. Both. I think if I had to pick one forever and ever, oh, I just can't. No, sorry. Ice cream. That's my answer, ice cream. Ice cream is always the answer. I've been trying to make a banana smoothie. So we recently bought some soy milk to have with some chai. There's this company that makes chai locally. It's liquid. So you just add whatever milk you want to it, half and half, warm it up, and it's amazing, right? And over the winter, my husband got really into it, and I really like soy milk when I do a steamed drink because the foam is so much better. And so we had this soy milk, and then on the dumb container, there was this banana smoothie recipe, and every time I'd open the fridge, I would look at this banana smoothie recipe. I don't want a banana smoothie, but I don't know why, but every time I saw it, it just looked really tasty. And so then it planted this seed in my head of this coffee shop in Colorado I used to go. Everything's a long story with me. Everything connects, right? And they made this shake, not even a smoothie. We have left smoothie town and we've entered ice cream town, right? We were never really. We were always in ice cream town, right? So they made this shake called a Broadway Wake Up. And if you're in Fort Collins, Colorado, you know. And it was espresso, chocolate, banana, vanilla ice cream. Some combination of that. And this little banana smoothie, dumb recipe, it planted this in my head, and I couldn't get it out. So my husband finally bought me bananas. Finally, like I've been asking. No, he asked the first time I asked him, but I finally asked for them. And I had him buy vanilla ice cream, and I've been trying to do it. This is like it's like such bad, you know, a bad influence, right? So yeah. You like my answer? Yeah, both. We really like fruit tarts in my family. It's something I can whip up. I make them a lot, especially a galette. Like fruit galette would be hands down probably all my family loves. So, well, you're not a sweet tooth, Elena. Who are you? What do you do for your birthday? You like both of them. I'm part of getting cake and pie will not be a substitute, but especially on Thanksgiving I could eat. Yeah, like pumpkin pie should be a year-round sport, for sure. Cheesecake. Ooh, I love that you found the one thing that, is it pie or is it cake? Do you guys like ice cream cake? I love ice cream cake. Yeah, Jan, exactly. Depends on the cake or the pie. Like, are we talking afternoon coffee? Or are we talking day after the birthday party, you know, and we want to slice it, another slice of cake from the freezer? I love frozen cake. So, you like ice cream cake? Yeah. All right, we're almost done. I've talked about nonsense just long enough to get us through this. Here we go. At least we're only stitching on this cheesy lining. Okay. Jeez. I think, there we go. You saw me lay it out, right? Okay, so we have a left and a right? We got to make sure. That is the neck. There we go. I swear this is how I said it. But you know, it's funny. I had this one little tinge when I did this. I was like, I thought I was going to be starting from the gathered side. And I just ignored that. Right? So, fruit. Yeah. Okay. Did you really, Michelle? I love that. You didn't grow up eating sweet. My daughter didn't have a sweet tooth at first, and then she developed one, and I really worried that it was going to come from me. So I was really careful because I just thought, oh, to grow up without having a sweet tooth. My husband doesn't have one. I thought, oh, she's just like him. I didn't want to change that. But she eventually just got one on her own without me even trying. And honestly, I love it because if there's anyone I can corrupt to go out at, 9 at night and get a hot cookie, she's down. She's always going to be down, which is, right? Lemon tart. Ooh. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Sometimes it's a nice relief of the burden if you bring home. You don't have to bring home extra. That's my mom's favorite is a lemon tart or carrot cake. I made her a carrot cake. Wait, did I ever even make that? Did we ever get together for? Oh, we did. Yeah. My poor mom got snowed in on her birthday and we couldn't celebrate her birthday. And then we came up with a different day to do it and she got snowed in again. So I had the carrot cake like almost ready to combine. Like I had all the liquid ingredients and then I was going to put all the rest of it together. And that's when we called it off. So it was sitting in my fridge, 1/4 of the way put together for like 2 weeks. And it worked. It worked great. So I haven't had enough rhubarb. Yeah, right, Jan? Oh, yeah. Well, we in my house, we have Kaffee and Kuchen because my husband went to Germany for a year in college. He did a college year there in Heidelberg. And then his grandmother was German. And so they do Kaffee and Kuchen, which is just the afternoon coffee and a treat. Oh, and you know what? He knocked on my door right after the stream yesterday. I could just... He brought in, you guys, the Costco thing. I hate Costco right now. He brought in a bag. It's huge. Everything there is huge. And guess what it is? It's chocolate mint covered pretzels. I was like, no. Why are you doing this to me? He's like, I'll take a few for my coffee this afternoon. He ate one. He left me the whole bag. No, I just did this again. No, I didn't. Oh my gosh, I just had a heart attack. Okay. I keep thinking that's the neck. This is the neck, yeah. All right, we're fine. We are fine. We are fine. Your dad was a diabetic and my parents never baked, so we didn't have much. They ate a whole lot of fruit instead, so that's what, yeah, that's awesome. It is like training your palate is a thing. I was just talking to my husband today about like what triggers my rosacea, and it's really interesting because sugar is definitely a trigger for it, and I have a big sweet tooth, right? Mostly ice cream. I like ice cream. and I just have it each night, right? But if I were to have like home-baked cookies using white sugar, no trigger. It would be totally fine. If I were to have like M&Ms, fully a trigger, I would have my rosacea would pop up, right? So it's really interesting that it's some sort of ingredient, like certain things where I could have mint chip ice cream from 2 different people, and one will trigger my rosacea and one won't. So it's something about like what kinds of ingredients they use. So I'm kind of careful about that, but you know, that's about it. All right, so I really want to clip this. I'm sort of like, I'm kind of on the fence about the ironing thing right now. I think I'm just going to pin this, and maybe I will, so maybe I'll just iron this a little bit and we'll pin over at the machine. Let's give this a nice little tug down there. I'm just angling the iron a little bit to get this seam like that. Let's see if this one is as good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. Yeah, right, Renee? But it could be anything, like any candy bar. You know, like if it were a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup or a Snickers or any of those like checkout stand candy things. Oh, and especially if it's candy focused, like not chocolate focused. That's the worst. Red wine too. Yeah, it is like there's so many people who have sweet teeth. Oops, what did I just hit? Nothing, okay. I'm looking for my, here it is. I was looking for my pin cushion and I hit my Stream Deck. All right. Yeah, I have no idea what the trigger is. Like none, because like I said, I could have mint chip ice cream from one company and from another company, and one will trigger it and one won't. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I just try not to eat a lot of the triggers because I just don't want it to get bad. All right. It looks like I have 5/8 of an inch built in right there. Like the little shape there. There's a little bit of bias happening on the seam because of the angle. When I did my Myrna, I top stitched the heck out of this, and I also opened the seam, and I think I turned it under and clean finished it. Like I turned it back like this and turned it under. I might do that on this too, because it's going right into this V. So the V might, you might see the seam allowance is what I'm trying to say. Oh, really, Barbara? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe, Mullen. But Guy, have you ever, like the ingredients lists on some of those things are really long. That's awesome, Amanda. Sometimes planning is the fun part, right? I thought I had a metal allergy shortly after moving here. And it just turns out that living in a really dry climate has made me super sensitive. So I tested fine. This is like all of this talk. This is partly why I just try and avoid unrefined foods, because I do have a pretty big sweet tooth. So I will eat mint chocolate dipped pretzels, right? I'm going to eat those occasionally. That's fine. But most of the other time, I just eat like food. But what kind of pattern is that, Barbara? All right, let's edge stitch this. So we're just clean finishing this. This bobbin's going to show on the inside of my cream, but that's fine. No one's going to see that, right? And now we have a nice clean inside. I changed to a size 14 needle today. I'm so glad I remembered to do that. Make sure. I'm try-harding, can you tell? You think green thread was okay to do on this? It was either that or cream. I really didn't have a lot of options. Okay. This looks so wavy. Why is this looking so wavy? Am I not taking up the seam allowance correctly in one of these spots? Maybe not that one. Look at that. I can kind of correct it by letting it blump over down here. Let's see how it looks on the inside. It's okay. I don't really like that slackness though, so I might let it blump over down here to kind of make this nice and flat. There is my... I will start sewing faster soon. Sorry, I'm just kind of getting my bearings. I'm going to also top stitch this little mid piece here. I don't want torquing, so I'm a little worried about it right now. Partly I'm struggling because of the crinkle cotton. The crinkle cotton is a little bit, you know, like I'm stitching it down flat, but it's got all this fullness in it. So, oh, the Clyde pant. Really, Razor Girl? I did not know that. I looked into that a lot, especially nickel. I'm not a big chocolate person though. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Danny. Can cause it to be wavy. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely, because I lived on the coast before I moved here. And I'm sure I had rosacea there, but it just didn't present itself, right? Because I wasn't living in such a dry climate, and living in such a dry climate has really... Look at how angry my finger is right now. I didn't even know that. Shoot. Sometimes the time of year under my wedding ring will get a little angry. It's usually September though. Ooh, there's a thread here. Let's not immortalize that. All right. It's a little bit, I see a little bit of torquing there. Okay. What was I going to ask you guys? I had a sewing related topic to talk with you guys about. I can't remember what it is. I'm bringing someone is from Hearts Fabric is hosting my husband and I at their house, which was really nice because it's not easy to find places to stay in Santa Cruz that are really affordable. And I know that she had wanted a project bag, like a chicken boots project bag, a long time ago. And it just popped into my head. So I started to make one yesterday. It took me, I didn't even finish it. It took me so long. I'm so out of practice. But I wanted to show you it because it's going to be cute. I think the fabric is, I'm hoping she likes it. It's so hard to pick someone's fabrics, right? I'll top stitch these two and then I'll show you. All I have to do now is put the bag together like I made all the pieces for it. Little thread. I'm kind of surprised at how wishy this is getting, but it's this crinkle cotton. It's got to be that. It's the only component that's different. The samples I made, I used an old bed sheet. We had all these like brand new bed sheets when Maggie passed away for a twin-sized bed. All right, so here's my top. Here's the bag I'm making right here, though. Check it out. So she wanted a project bag. So I took the fabric from the Elmwood skirt. I flipped over this fabric. It's supposed to have these little like little textury threads. So, oh, and then look at, I don't have chicken boots labels anymore, so I got to put my own in there. So I'm hoping she likes it. I'm going to use this as the binding to finish it all off. Got all the components sitting in a pocket. So I'm almost done with that. It's kind of fun to make one of those. I'm going to make a, oh, yeah. Well, I told you about the pocket bucket I'm going to make. All right, so let's do this center seam here. And we're going to put this right sides together. And we're going to match these all perfectly. Yeah, I hope she'll like it. It is a fabric I got from Hearts. And I made the Elmwood skirt out of it, but I have like a half yard left over from that. So maybe the yardage wasn't quite accurate when I got the pattern to do the video. Because I never overbuy. Unless you have to round up, you know? Thanks, guys. I hope she does. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm going to go to the local chocolate shop here. There's someone having a phone conversation under my window. How weird. Get some chocolates for them, too. We don't have a whole lot here. But locally, you know, this area is almonds, olives, stone fruits, walnuts, like all kinds of really good stuff. Grains, rice, all that. Sierra Nevada Brewery. I'm going to baste this. When do I baste things? Rarely. We're going to baste this because I want to see if I've got this lined up. It feels like I'm getting a wrinkle. Let's see. So let's see here. Oh, really? Jan dang. Okay. I did get a little tuck. Look at that. I knew it. Right there. This line doesn't line up. This line lines up. This one doesn't. This one doesn't. So that's good. And I have, well, it's not really a tuck. It is a tuck right there. So let's pull this side down and get rid of this tuck. Oh, really, Diane? Oh, that's a bummer. I'm on the fence how I feel about pattern subscriptions. I think like I'm not against them at all. I am one of the few people that thinks that just pattern, it's got to be so hard to make a living with a pattern company. And so many people are like, I want free patterns, you know, so you've got that to battle as well. So look like a legit tuck in there. Jeez Louise, get rid of that. And why does that look like it matches right there, but it didn't when I pushed the seam open? I think it's because of the cream. The cream is dominating. But I'm wondering, like, what if the model was more like, I don't know, like, well, how is it now? It's like you have to subscribe that month and you get that month's pattern, right? And then you can only get a pattern that came out previously if you get the annual, correct? Is that previous year as well, like any previous pattern? So, or is it just that year? So what if they came out with their patterns and they were like, all right, well, for club members, it's whatever it is, you know, I don't know the price. But if you want to not join our club, it's our usual pattern price, like $14. I feel like that could be a good compromise because you only stand to make more money. But maybe I'm missing something. I have never run a pattern company, so I don't know. I'm not an expert in that. All right, so let's look at this. This is where the seam line is right there. And we're going to pin right there. Okay. And then this one here, I thought I took those threads out. Oh, not yet. I've seen some people say that they'll never buy from the company again because they're doing this. And it's like, I don't really know how I feel about that. That seems really extreme. How is Seamworks? Does Seamwork do it so that you can buy it without joining Seamwork? I was a Seamwork member once, and I just don't remember. It was like the first year. Angela Kane. Oh, okay. Yeah, right, Jan? Exactly. Oops, I just backstitched. I just want to base this, really. All right, let's try and get this. Where is was it the upper portion that had the tuck? I think it was. So I'm just gonna try and be mindful of that. Let's see. Better or worse? Okay, I got rid of this tuck. There, almost got one right there. I do see some needle holes there, so let's try and scratch that out. This is acceptable. I would take this. I will take that. Okay. Let's do the real seam. I can't remember how I think I need to do binding for the neckline. That's what it is. Yeah. So. Oh, interesting, Mullen. I didn't even know they had one. Oh, okay, Mafio. Hi, Mafio. How are you? Nice to see you. So I'm just doing a 5/8 inch seam here. And I'm actually going to stitch like really close to this seam here because if I stitch any further away, it might not match up. Hopefully I don't get any new tucks. All right, first we're going to do is check our center area here. Now this one's a little lower, but that one doesn't show up as much because it's cream to cream. All right, I can see that little tuck wanting to be there, but it's not there anymore. It didn't get the memo. Okay, so now I'm going to press this open and I'm going to finish the edge like this. I'm going to turn it under like this. And I can either, you can either, this is one way. If you don't have a serger or you don't want to whip out your zigzag machine, maybe you don't have the issue I have where it's on a separate machine. You can just turn back your seam allowance and edge stitch it. As long as, you know, you don't catch anything else. You don't have to use a serger or anything. Get rid of all these threads. I got this wispy stuff from the other. So, oh really, Mullen? Yeah, I think when I left seam work, I tried to cash in a lot of them, but I haven't used any of them. Like, I haven't sewn the things. They were just too basic after a while. They felt very much like, I don't know. They just, I don't know. I felt like they were all things like very basic, like drafting style. Like they weren't far from my block. And I was like, wait, I have all these. So, all right. Now the question is, on my Myrna, I actually stitched down the center front on either side of this seam. What do you think? Do you think that that would be just too much? Should I keep the seam finishing to the inside? Or should I top stitch on either side? Hi, Aisha, how's it going? If only this tuck weren't there and this was a little lower. Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're fine. I think they're actually a really excellent if you're trying to build your pattern library, or you're a beginner, or you want faster things to sew. I think like it's really great for that. So there's a lot of really good reasons to have it. Inside, top stitch, inside. I'm kind of leaning towards inside this time. I'm not sure though. I have to do it pressed open because, well, I don't have to. I could have done a French seam, I guess, because I'm going to use binding here. The binding is going to be kind of a pain to do. I think actually I bound the neckline first on my Myrna and then I finished it. That I may have to do that. I should leave this. We're going to leave this for now. All right. Let's do the back. The back will be a little faster. I really dragged that out, didn't I? Here we go. These are on the fold, but there are some gathers. And this time, we'll do the same thing. This is the top. This is the middle. This is the bottom. And then the lining. Yeah, exactly, Barbara. That's what I'm thinking too. Plus, I don't want it to be a feature. This is the right side, right? I don't want to like make one way and one the other. I have a front that has the right side of the fabric out, back with the wrong side. Oh my gosh, that would be a disaster, right? Hey, D-Mac, how's it going? You remember those times? I could totally see you in that era, that kind of noir. See you, Amanda. Good luck with all of your medical things. Hope you just get some answers soon. All right. Let's do this. This curve's pretty subtle. If I would have had more time on the drafting of this, I probably would have raised this back midriff up a little bit. All right, so here's top, and here's the bottom. I ended up flaring it a little, and I really hope I didn't flare it too much. I did one more fitting before I cut yesterday, and I still made kind of quite a few changes. you know? So we'll hope that, what's my backup plan? Like if it's too flared, because I don't want it to stick out. I want it to be kind of close. I'm not going for like a peplum, you know? This fabric is, you gotta be really careful when you sew. It's so stretchy. The plissé is so stretchy, the crinkle stuff. That'll probably make it really comfortable though, you know, when you're wearing it. It's like a way to have stretch without having stretch. All right. Oh, I should have done the lining. Yeah, I do. I do totally think you would. Oh my gosh, Terry. Yeah, I can't imagine. All right, we want this right sides together, yeah. Okay. Just sewing the lining onto this bottom seam. Look at that wiggly seam there. Not good, huh? This lining will hopefully help me maintain the shape. I am feeling like I need to pull the fabric a little more because maybe I was letting the crinkle scrunch up too much. Man, I sewed this in such a really wiggly seam, so I'm glad I'm trying to kind of correct this. Probably should have pinned it because of the curve. Anytime I stop, it just leaves it open to like jog over a little bit, you know? All right, so now we have that, and I think I'll sew the top on there, and then we'll do the ironing. Now that we kind of know our game plan. Oh yeah, it's clearly the top. All right, so we have a notch here. Kind of a quiet day, huh? The weather's starting to get just fantastic here. All right, let's see, am I close? Yeah, maybe a little more, huh? The Myrna was more of a plain back, so even though the Myrna had these, you know, little details like this, the back didn't. The back was just a solid back with 2 vertical darts. That was it. So, and it worked because all of it immediately went into a kind of a gentle A-line skirt. But you know how I feel about the front looking really different from the back. I don't like it looking like you do all the effort on the front. So I wanted to kind of carry it over since it's just a top this time. And I kind of like, I thought of like, I was having trouble thinking some ideas, but, all right, so wait, we're gonna do this to the lining. This is the right side. This is the right side. This is the right side, right? It is really hard to tell. Okay, that's the right side. Doesn't this look darker? All right, so we're gonna sew this like this. Oh, I bet, Terry. Yeah, that stuff is a little bit, like, yeah, it'll eventually, especially if it gets ironed at all. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It was probably kind of a little bit to manage. Okay, I need a center notch on this. I don't have one. So let's put one about right here. Well, let's just find the center. Look at this. This kind of stuff, that drives me crazy. Yeah, the coffin look, exactly. I don't like that coffin look. You all that effort to sew something or make something. I'm not going to lay down. Is the center? I hope so. Ooh, it lined right up. All right, so now let's sew this on here. I can't believe I can't use that new camera. I'm kind of disappointed. I didn't even anticipate that it would need a different USB. The USB-C looks like the kind on my iPhone or my iPad. I can't remember, but. And that one drives me crazy because you can't just plug it in anywhere. All right, so we have our gathers here. Okay. All right. Let's pull this down and really gently iron this. Okay. I'm so worried I have the wrong side of the fabric showing, and then I flip it over. I'm like, nope, this is all the right side of the fabric. Okay. Like this one is the one that keeps throwing me off, but no, I can tell. It's fine. All right. Let's try and get this nice and flat the best we can with this crinkle. I'm just gonna not use my press cloth right now. All right. All right, where's our center notch on this? I put that notch, but not this one. I was thinking about wearing this to Hearts on Monday. You know? I'll pull this a little tighter. I'm kind of like, I haven't had to worry about like what to wear in forever, and like meeting people like the 4 of you that are gonna show up on Monday. I'm already like, oh my God, what do I wear? See you, Diane. Let's pull out this gathering stitch so it doesn't show up down in there. I think it'll be cooler to me because it's on the coast, right? Oh, I did do something to my Mitchell trousers I was going to show you guys because, I don't know. I'm just admitting that I don't really like wearing them very much. I don't like how full the leg is. They're really comfortable. Like I love how comfortable they are, right? I love the way they look on other people, but I feel a little self-conscious in them, you know? It's just not my style. And so, and I just kind of had hoped they were going to come out with more things to go along. Like, I feel like both those high-waisted trousers, I was kind of expecting for a bunch of like tops to go with trousers to come out. Not big billowy tops, things that will go with trousers that don't make you feel even more big and slouchy, right? Are you going, Kathleen? And so I've been trying to make some things to go with wearing my new trousers. Why is this so much narrower? These are the same width. I don't know why this is, it's just, maybe it's a crinkle, vertical crinkle. But look at that. Then I get a little bit of slouchiness. So, so this is what I did. So one of the things that I hear people complaining about is the little straps that hang off the end. And they don't really bug me too much, but I don't like the silhouette they give me when I'm wearing them. Because it's like there's something poking out on the side. So if you have a shirt that goes past that point, it interrupts your shirt and it doesn't look great. And so what I did was I put snaps on the ends of those ties. Oh, I'm about to make this seam allowance bigger. These are all supposed to be 1/2 inch. I know for sure. And then, so I put snaps on the ends of those ties, and now they just snap on the center back of me. If I don't want them to snap, I'll just unsnap them, right? Oh, okay, Kathleen. Oh, okay, yeah, that's a really reputable company, Jan. Thanks. Yeah, me too. I love the look of them. I think also that, I don't know, I just really don't like it when there's a pattern that comes out and I'm like, cool, I'm in, and then there's nothing to go with it. See, look how narrow this is. What's going on here? Did you shrink? You could have shrink. I don't trust you, this fabric. I'm sort of on the fence of maybe pulling this down and top stitching it down to kind of give me, these are supposed to be both 1 inch wide at the end here. Look at, what is hanging off? What is this? This crinkle cotton is a little bit tricky to sew with. Yeah, I'm gonna let that hang off and top stitch it down, I think. You wear your Gilberts and your Archers with the Mitchells. Yeah, I tried that. But you made the skinny version. Yeah, so you know what else I did? I cropped them. Hard crop. So I think they're gonna be a lot better. I looked at the leg circumference of those and they aren't much different than things I wear. So I don't know why they feel so huge, you know? You just did a purge your clothes that you just don't wear or don't seem to like. Me too. I did the same thing. Yeah, I did that recently too. I did it like I think last or 2 months ago I did that. Because I did it while I was doing one of those behind the seams zooms. I just had my camera off and I tried every single thing on in my closet. It was awesome. All right. It was awesome and tedious. But I felt so much better because I only left in my closet the things that I truly like and want to wear. And it seems so cliche to say and do all that, but it's just like my body has changed really drastically, really quickly in the last 2 years. And so I was just fighting it, you know? It's just like I was fighting wearing these things like, oh, these are my go-to things, and then they just didn't fit. You know, I wasn't comfortable all day. So this one right here is the one I'm going to cheat a little and top stitch that down like that. Oh, that's cool, Kira. Yours go to your ankle. Yeah, mine did, but they don't anymore. I took so much off. All right. Let's see here. What are you thinking here? I'm just kind of looking at this width and noting my wiggly seam allowance for sure. Like this is really not the width it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be more like that. That pink, there it goes. One of my label ideas that I've been working on is making one. The thing is, I feel like this would be kind of expensive to do, but one of the things I want to do is make labels that I can put in my clothes that indicate to me something about them. Like maybe I want to know, oh, are these my skinny ankle ones, or are these the ones that are bigger? Are these the ones that are lower rise? Like just like those, you know how like when you have a lot of something like jeans, like say I have a lot of jeans, right? And they all kind of fit differently. And so I really wanted some sort of system. And I really, that was the stumbling block, was trying to figure out, well, what symbol do I want to use? And I was thinking like, is it fruit? Like, do I want to call them fruits, you know, so that I'm like, oh, all the apples are the ones that are skinny leg or whatever. And then I was like, well, maybe I want to do a star rating system. I don't know. I figured out what I want to do, and it's so much more specific and sophisticated. But I just have to get around to doing it. I started it, but then I was, you know, it's not a priority. And then I could put that in my garment and go, oh, I know which one these are, right? Because sometimes I used to use the same wash denim and I just can't tell them apart. And I was thinking I could do that for tops too, maybe. I don't know. But wait, which way are we top stitching? Oh, I top stitched below here, above and above. Okay, above and above. Yeah, above and above. Of course, above and above. Am I making this hard to look hard to sew? It is. Like this crinkle cotton is a little bit wily. I don't want it to stretch out or get torqued. Maybe lining these wasn't a great idea. But I would have had to finish all those seam allowances, so that's why I didn't do it. I'm sort of wanting, no, I'm gonna go this way. You're done having kids and you realize it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it, Anna. I went through that too. Your physical bone structure can actually change with childbearing as well. So it's just a different phase of your life. Like it's just like it's, you know, there's nothing right or wrong with it. It just is. Color-coded ribbons? No. Well, you could do that. Like someone could just do that, right? I think that would be a really affordable thing to do. Okay. Do you see this little bit of like, that's kind of hard to combat. I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna pull my awl and try and get it onto this, into this top stitch seam and get rid of it a little bit, but it's not going to be perfect. Maybe I can go like this. Love the fabric. Probably not doing a good job of selling it right now, am I? kind of combating it by pulling diagonally the other way. It seemed to kind of work. All right. We have our front. We have our back. I spent a lot of time on that. Turn right off the I would buy it again. I would say I would totally buy it again. I'm doing a lot of construction for a fabric that really should be left to be really like, you know, loose and breezy. Hi, Nanava. Or is it Nana, Virginia? I'm always trying to interpret usernames. Welcome. All right, so it's kind of early for me to end, but I could and do the sleeve next time. Or we can keep going. I'm kind of open to either. Because we have the sleeve, which is kind of a big, huge, it's actually huge. It's a huge seam, 2 huge seams with some gathering, and then I need to finish them. And I haven't decided how I'm going to finish those either. I think I could do a French seam, but I honestly think binding it would be better. Would be easier. Or doing a fake French seam. Where you just, you know, like this one. You could do a fake French seam where you sew it right sides together so that you don't have to worry about all that part. But then you can just take your seam allowance and fold it inside like this. And then just edge stitch it like that. I could do a fake French seam. I could bind it. This fabric's light enough. We know I have a little extra fabric. So I could bind those seams. What else could I do? The other kind is, you know, I could trim one of these down. Let's say we trimmed this one down, and then we can turn this one over. This one I don't like is because it's kind of fiddly. You have to trim this way down, and then you take this one, turn it under, and edge stitch it over it, self-binding it. It turns out pretty small. You have to pretty wide seam allowance, so. You guys are talking a whole nother language. They're talking about a Dungeons and Dragons podcast, but it's also a live stream of voice actors, so it's pretty funny. Oh, well, this live stream will be uploaded and if you want to watch it again. And then you can actually speed it up by pressing the gear and making it a little faster. You can rewind it right now, too. Yes, Sydney, I am. The last option? Really? The hard one? Why, Mary? Why? You mean self-enclosing it? I think it could work. It's just it's very fiddly. I have some pretty crazy seams coming up. So I'm not sure I can do a good job of it because look at these curves. Let me show you the sleeve seams. So these are the seams. I don't really think French seams will work very well. I don't think anything but binding them because of the severe curve. And this one too. This is the other seam. Yeah. Right, Terry? It always is. That's fine, Molly. Relive the joy and rewind. Sew and serge. Yeah. I did that on the original butterfly. It's honestly a really good option for this because you can just press the seam allowance. She only gives you 3/8 of an inch seam. So you kind of have to press the easy button. Well, I like binding though. I like how like solid it'll feel. So how about this? How about we cut some binding What else could I do to take up some time? I could do the belt, maybe. That's all I have. Like, this is it. There's only these pieces. There's not a whole lot. There's a lot of the bodice pieces, but that's about it. Well, how about this? How about this? I'm going to sew the fronts and backs to this, but we'll bind them on Saturday. How's that? That's what we'll do. All right, we'll do a little French seam here, though, at the center back yoke. That's what I call this thing. So we'll do a little French seam right here. And I think I'll probably do a French seam on the underarm as well. That's such a small seam. We won't even go over to the iron for this one. Let's trim it down a little bit though. There's a little bit of thread stuff happening. So we'll put this to the bodice, but we'll finish them on Saturday, and I will cut the binding before then. Because I might even be able to find another fabric and save that for something. I don't know what though. It's not very much to do anything with. Maybe a tank top. Binding is my easy button. It really is. On the inside of a garment too, it's really easy. All right, so here we have our sleeve. So you're gonna have to follow along with me here. All right, so now we're looking at the center back right here, and then those are the shoulders. And then it comes down like this. So let's find the back. And the back does not gather at the top, right? Right, yeah, okay. We have a center back notch. Yes, we do. So we're gonna sew this at the full seam allowance. I gave myself a lot of seam allowance for this because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just focused on getting the fit correct. Which way do I want this? Do I want to go around like this? Or do I want to, yeah, I want this side. Sometimes I have to decide, do I want the interior, the side of the garment with the interior corner facing up, or do I want this side facing up? You know, you just never know what'll be easier to sew. And I think this is going to be kind of both. It's going to be hard in some areas and easy in others. So, but we have a notch that we can pin right now. The corner shoulder there. And the narrower seam allowance would have been a lot easier. And I will be trimming this down to do the binding, ironically. Gosh. Feels really tight through here. Tight, but too much fabric there. Look at that. Let's clip this. I'm going to clip the top edge a little bit. Sorry, I can feel my fabric crumpling underneath. Molly. Well, if you sign off now, you could go watch it before bed. We won't keep you up so late. Oh man, you won't sleep. Yeah, there you go. Fine, everyone be the voice of reason. All right, where's my center back? Here we go. All right, so I have labels I need to remember to add as well. So where are those? I'm gonna just pin this here so I don't forget them, because I do often. All right, I think this side will be a little easier coming at it from this angle, but where's my notch? There it is, it's way over there. I'm going to clip into this top edge here. The seam allowance is just too wide. It makes going around these kinds of tight corners a little too hard. All right, home stretch. Okay. Here we go. Okay. All right, so now let's do the fronts. And we need to add some gathers to the top shoulders here. I learned from doing prototypes that I should add a longer line of gathering stitches than I was giving myself. And I removed some of the gathers too, because I was just having trouble getting it in there and it looking good. I was like, it's like creeping onto the neck too much. So I took out some of it. So this might be overkill, but we'll see. All right, so now we have our fronts, and then here is the front seam. This guy right here goes to the garment like this. So let's put the gathers on top so we can see them while we're sewing. Yeah, see, look, that pivot point's there, so we still need to gather more. Hi, Louise. How's it going? It's been a while. It's nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. What have you been up to? Dang, Louise. I bet you were here when I sewed the butterfly blouse the first time by Decades of Style. That was a few years ago. Just distributing my gathers and putting my notch right here on this notch here. Okay, let's distribute these gathers a little bit. Stitch line's a little far away from my gathering line, so I'm just pulling the gathers so that they're nice and perpendicular. Really hate it when they crumple over one another and like fold over the gathers. It doesn't look nice. And now we just have this armhole. We're going to have a top to throw on the dress form before we go today. It's kind of exciting. And I could even maybe try it on later. Make sure it's those last few fit changes I made had all the impact I wanted. The seam is a lot easier when it's a narrow seam allowance. So if you're making the butterfly blouse as is, think about that before you do it, unless you're going to serge it. Yes, if you're cutting out straps for a dress like spaghetti straps, the straps to be cut on the bias. No, don't cut them on the bias. You're learning to ice skate. Yeah, I think so, Louise. I feel like it's been like 4 years. Yeah, you don't want to do bias because the straps will also keep stretching as you're wearing it from the weight of the garment. So I would do length grain. If you have enough fabric, do length grain. It's more stable. All right, is this right sides together? Let's hope so. Yeah, that is okay. I learned to ice skate when I was a kid. I had a lot of fun doing it. Thought I was so good. I was not good. And then, you know, gosh, that was probably like, I don't know, early 80s. And my ice rink turned into a roller rink. I keep turning the stitch length down, but I think it just feels like it's long and it's actually not. I got super into roller skating, like super into the roller skating. Oh, really, Elena? That's odd. Are the spaghetti straps doing anything? Like, are they performing any function besides just straps on a dress? Are they doing any like crisscrossing, or are they functioning as your closure at all in any way? I don't really think that there's anything that would adversely affect it if you do length grain, though. You can't iron out the stretch. I mean, you can, but it's basically she stretched it out then. But once the fabric returned, I would think that it would be there again. I don't know. I could be wrong. You're gonna tell me it's some famous like sewing guru, and I'll be totally put in my place. But I've done things where I've interfaced the like bias strips within an inch of their life so that they wouldn't stretch. I've done that. Okay, we're back up here. This last little stretch. Yeah, I got super into roller skating, like super into it. And then something probably no one knows was around. They came out with shoe skates. So basically they made like real shoes with skates on them, and they were permanently attached to the shoe. And I love those. They were so comfortable. I had Hobie shoe skates. I can remember exactly what they looked like. My mom even made me a birthday cake that looked like them. This is right here. Let's clip this curve a little bit. My seam allowance, not so consistent. But this right here is that corner right here, so I'm just trying to let it release. No, not wheelies. Not heelys. No, like legit skates with shoes on them. Let's see if I can find a picture. Wouldn't that be cool? I'm gonna find a picture. They were cool colors too. I found them. I found them. These were my skates. Oh my gosh. Hi, Fiona. Oh, really, Fiona? No. Okay, ready? Where's my computer thing? Here we go, me and computer. It won't be me. Oh, I'm way over here, though. These were my shoe skates. Oh my gosh. They were these right here. Pretty sure, not these. These have a swoop. Hobie shoe skates? Oh my god. Oh yeah, those were them. Hobie was really well known for things like, gosh, I want to say like windsurfing and sailing and stuff like that. Yeah, they were sneakers on them. Wheelies. Oh, I bet, Sydney. Those things are so dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said, Mary. I said shoe skates. They called them wheelies. Yes, Danny, exactly. Like catamarans. Exactly. I actually went out on a catamaran when I was that age, too. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. You guys are so funny. All right. I can do maybe one side seam, but the other one is going to have my zipper. So, and that's going to be that one. So this one right here, let's just do a little French seamaroo here real quick so we can kind of see the whole effect. Oh no, I need to bind it. I can't do a side seam. Oh well. Well, we'll show it. Oops. 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 Oh my God, I'm just pressing buttons now. Here we go. They updated my Stream Deck to so where, let me show you what I mean when I say my Stream Deck. So this little thing right here. So I have this little, it's like a bunch of buttons, right? So I can press this button, takes me my pattern table. And then like this button right here is my iron, right? This is my full screen, it's my computer, things like that. I have like profiles for when I record for other people too. And I have Lo-Fi Girl right there in the center. So sometimes I push the buttons because they're really easy to push. It's very handy dandy. I love it. And I'm really hoping that this new camera I got is going to integrate with it for zooming and brightness control. But I don't have a Stream Deck with knobs on it, so I'm not sure if it will or not. So this is for tomorrow. Okay, let's try it on. Because it's probably just been looking like a big old green blob with lots of weird seams and crinkle. So good, so good. You had a Hobie cat, you grew up on a lake? That's so cool. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I remember thinking, I think that Hobie might have gotten into the skate scene, and that's hence why they came out with roller skates. I remember at the time, even though I was like a kid, you know, like a kid, like 7, thinking that it was really weird that Hobie made them. So, all right, so we have this underarm seam. Let's just pin it a little bit. It's all coming together. I'm trying to get confident about my hair for this again, because my last 2 trials have not gone well. Oh, I forgot to, oh my gosh, you guys, I didn't sew up the whole center front seam. That's hilarious. It goes all the way up to here. Wow. I'm worried, Jan. But, you know, now that you told me, you're like, no, 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 no. You don't have to put the curlers in your hair completely wet. I just need to... And I do feel like my first trial was, it kind of resembled the silhouette. So that kind of made me recently feel like, okay, we just need to have faith that it's all going to be, you know, it's going to come together in the end. All right, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble getting... Dress forms are kind of sticky sometimes. Let's see if I can get this. Here we go. It shouldn't be tight on this dress form because she's a little smaller than me. Can you see it? Yay. I will totally, you will see me wearing this occasionally after the wedding. Like, I love this blouse. I love that this finally came to mind to do the gathers, the blousing right here, kind of like the front. I raised the armhole and I was a little worried about like interrupting some of the sleeve stuff, but I think it worked out. Yeah, I think it's coming out. It's really cute. Let me brighten this up a little bit for you guys. Exactly, it looks totally comfortable. Yeah. You really don't see these bands too much, but, and this is good. This didn't do the flare. I was really hoping it would just be enough to hug my booty, because that little flare you saw, it was really just to shape to the back hip tilt. I like the blousing. I had way too much originally, and I don't even know how it got there. I think I just put these bands too low or too high up or something for it. Yeah, this looks good. I am so happy. Yeah. Wearable in the heat also. I totally agree. Yeah. Anyone's gonna know it's not. I don't know. I think you're right, Jan. Yeah, that's true. Thank you. I need to hear that. Oh, nice, Terry. Oh, no. We found one and then, wow. We like to do pin curls. I meant finger waves with gel. Okay, yeah, when you said that, Julie, I was like, I don't think I can do that. The finger curls, maybe. I've watched a few channels and I'm like, they make it look so easy. So I know when they make it look easy, it's not. That's the rule. No, it's fine, Julie. I think I knew that you meant that, but I was thinking, I always thought finger waves also were a lot harder, and then I saw people were like, okay, pin, pin. I'm like, oh, I'm not that dexterous, but we'll see. All right, well, I feel good about this. Yeah, and I don't know if you heard, Jan, what I was telling them yesterday about the comb. One of those combs, it's like the decorative part is at a curve, and I cannot get it in my hair to make it look like it's not sticking straight out the back of my head. It's so weird. So the comb thing is just not working out. Oh, really, Hannah? I could manage that. Yeah, that's so true, Jan. And I think like the lipstick, I think is the key, right? Just me wearing lipstick at all is going to be a shock. Yeah, exactly, Anna. That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, so, yeah, I feel like the way I wear that braid, Hannah, though, is very, very more Scandinavian style. Just to kind of enhance my Swedish roots. Unintentionally. So, yeah, so then I'll put this with the, my little pin's coming in. I'll put these with the Winslow culottes. Winslow culottes. That sounds funny to me now. Give it that beach pajama look. Okay, so what do you guys think about a belt, though? Okay, Hannah, thanks. I would love that. Are you in the guild? Or are you going to DM it on Instagram? I'll watch for it. I don't see DMs on Instagram. I still want cake, too. Okay, Barbara. Yes to the belt? Okay, cool. Well, we've got it. We cut it out. Okay, cool. Wherever you send it to me, I'll watch for it. You don't think it needs the belt? Okay. Oh, thanks, Terry. Here, let me show you the picture. This one. So it has that solid green belt. I don't have a solid green. I don't think it needs a belt. Okay. I like the solid green. I think the print was unnecessary. You know what I mean? I think you change yours, yes, the belt. See, I like the solid green. I don't have the solid green, but maybe I could find some at Hearts next week. Hearts next week, yeah. The belt, I feel like, makes it look like the beach pajamas. That's why. Yeah. YouTube how to put them in. Okay. Yeah, it's just that curve of that one. I mean, like this, you can't really see it. But this one with the red on it, you can see it coming forward. It doesn't look very drastic here, but it's very drastic. And so when I put it in my hair, it looks like, why isn't that changing? Did I unplug my, oh, this isn't working now. Wow, okay. It looks like it's sticking straight out because it's like this curve and it's so strange. I don't know why. So if you had the green solid, it would have been a good waistband. That's true. The belt's nice on the picture, exactly. The combs are literally the only thing I have from the 30s, you guys. The shoes are brand new. The lipstick is brand new, but it's from their vintage line. So the comb are actually 1930s. I need to figure it out. I didn't really want the big one, even though it's cool. It's just huge. It's like this big, you know. So we'll see. Yeah, those little red things are so cute and sparkly, and I love the color combo. So I'll keep working on it. I worked for a while, and I was just like, wow, I'm really good at putting my hair up in a bun and putting a stick in it. I do that a lot, and I used to have a 3-pronged stick that I used to be using my hair a lot. It finally broke, and those are plastic, like from the 30s, and there's just something about they're slippery too. They're very slippery, and when I get it in, it kind of sags back, and then it just looks like it's sticking straight out from my head because of the curve. So maybe I'll bring the comb here and show you guys. I think that's what I'll do, so you can kind of see what I mean. All right, I'll see you Saturday. We'll finish sewing this. We're going to finish the inside seam, so a bit of binding, some hems, and an invisible zipper. I went together pretty quickly. If you want to make the butterfly blouse, it's actually a pretty quick sew. You don't have to do all this banding. There's none of that. It's just a wrap. It's beautiful. Let me see if I have a picture of it. I do. So if you want to see that, let me show you really quick. So this garment on the right, the top, that's the butterfly blouse. It's just a wrap and has the belt. I made the sleeves shorter for this, but this one, It fits so nice. There's no contouring in the bodice, and that's by Decades of Style. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, I tried that, Anna. I did. I tried all kinds of things. I'll have to bring it to you. There's something about it making it not sit in my hair. Maybe it's slippery. Oh, I could, Danny. Oh, smart. I love that because we used all that fabric. That's smart. Jan, you don't have to do that. And this is the other thing, bangs. No one in the 30s had bangs, but it is what it is. I can't grow those out. So I love that you guys are all helping me. Thank you. I'm just not the greatest with stuff. Thanks, Jan. You're so nice. Expert makeup artist and hair. Such a skill. Oh, all right, I'll see you guys Saturday, all right? Saturday, and maybe you're doing something for Mother's Day or something, but either way, I'll see you. And then 2 weeks from yesterday, I'll be sewing the Winslow Culottes by Helen's Closet. That's my makes this month. So, all right, bye guys. Thanks for coming.